Hello everybody and welcome to this video, the race day video. Of course, as you can tell, I'm kind of getting used to it now, and it's a formation lap. George is in pole position, Charlie in P2, Harry in P3, Callum in P4 and Peter in P6, with Jamie in P9 today. I hope you all enjoyed the video yesterday. I think you did, Preston, didn't you?
Yeah, it was at least an eventful start, to say the least. The ending was a bit slower, but yeah, it was a good start at least.
Very true, very true. But George, back on pole position, you know, did slip out, but managed to climb it back into P1, taking almost 48 points to extend his championship lead by another point on Charlie. What does Charlie have to do to take full advantage and try and catch up to him today in the championship?
Well, it sort of says itself, win the race. I just hope that George really sort of has a blunder, really.
Yes, but we will have to wait and see, of course, won't we? But people, I will be doing your lights out today. Preston will be doing your finish, so you'll have me for lights out. But of course, we have a bit of time before that. Jamie, P9. Do we think he can get back up?
Yeah, should be able to. Should be back behind Callum in no time.
But hopefully so. Hopefully so. Hopefully he gets back up. We'll have to wait and see. Of course, he does have Peter in his way as well in P6. Before those two can get back up, they'll most likely have to battle it out. But hopefully both of them get back up so they can battle it away with the top four. But that, of course, determines whether George sprints away with it again. Are they all on hards? Is that what we're looking at? Yes, we are.
Yeah, everyone's on hands. They are the better time, to be fair, around this track.
So no one gets speed advantage here today. It's all down to what the drivers can do, what pace they can pull out, and you know.
No one gets cold tires off the start because no one got disqualified.
Exactly. But people, the drivers are lining back up, and I hope you are all ready for this race, because I know I am. Kevin will be the last to line up, and hopefully it's going to be a good race. So that's what we're hoping for anyway. That's what we're all hoping for, I believe. But there we go. He is now lined back up, and people, it is 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights, and it is lights out. And away we go for the Miami Grand Prix. Who gets the best start? Callum up to P3, but drops back down to P4 now. Jamie, 6 P9, now P7. Oh, Jamie has fallen down a lot. Another bad start for Jamie here. Not great at all.
No, but Callum's got a good start.
Yeah.
A flag. Oh, Peter's out.
Not a good time at all. But I will leave you with Preston for a second.
Thanks, yeah.
Yeah. See you in a second, people.
Yeah, that was an eventful start. We did see Callum manage to get a good start on Harry. Charlie got the head of George going into the first corner. We also saw Jamie did have a bit of blunder, but we need to find out what really happened between Peter, because that is not good news for him in the championship fight. As things stand, everyone seems to be fairly spaced out. Just, I'd say, obviously the top 3 is just within DRS. It's going to be an interesting, or whatever result is going to be, it's going to be an interesting one. And it will be up to Charlie to try and push George further down the leaderboard. But yeah, that was a eventful start, to say the very least. Is Jamie going to get a move done It's not far off, but yeah, like we said, he is almost in the top 10, almost within points again, but it's not a great start for him. George is now closing the gap on Charlie, which I'm sure, as you guys will know, he won't take him long before he's up there again challenging. Charlie did hit the wall there slightly. He's lost about 2 tenths. George is now right on the back of Charlie. Almost contact between the two of them. How late he broke into that corner. He's all over the back now. Callum's also within DRS of George. Then battling out is really bringing Callum into the fight here. George is sticking to the back of that Red Bull. Using up his battery, he's got a good slipstream. Charlie's pulling off to the left to try and cover the inside route. George is now wheel to wheel with him. Squeezing against the wall. Can he get the move around the outside? No, he can't. I think, yeah, like we said earlier. Oh, he had a slight blunder there. Yeah, as we were saying, inside's probably the best option for most drivers to keep a move or go for an overtake. If you've got to go down the inside, really. Outside is not really the shout around the street track here.
Hello, I'm back.
Hello.
What's happened?
Not much has happened regarding the rest of the race, but George has got right behind Charlie. Almost got the move done. It was wheel to wheel going down that main straight, but obviously, like we said earlier, the inside just covered him off. And yeah, Charlie keeps the move.
Fair enough. But will Charlie stay ahead? That's the question. We're all wondering. We'll have to see how it goes. Callum's not really in it, but potentially could get into DRS range. Who knows? Harry has to pull it a bit more ahead, but we'll have to see what happens. Jamie in P11, currently getting P10. Fighting off Charles Leclerc, nicely done on the inside there. Stay in P10. Peter, though. What actually happened to Peter? Because I kind of went off before it was confirmed.
I don't know. I haven't seen anything. Peter's not really said anything in the chat. Yeah, still really lost what's happened.
Oh well, I guess we'll find out after the race, won't we? We'll have to see what happens. But who knows? But George, well, Callum's back in DRS range now.
Yeah, Callum's been sort of getting close to that sort of area.
And I think if you're okay with it, Peter has asked to join commentary. If you're okay with it. I've said yeah, he can. So he may be joining any minute now, but that'd be good to have him back on. There we go. You alright, Peter?
Not really.
Of course, yeah. What actually happened? If you don't mind me asking.
What, at the start of the race?
Well, yeah, for you to get taken out.
Well, AI and the laggy lobby.
Okay.
Everyone's all over the place, and I can't really drive with people like that. Well, I can't really drive with AI's being laggy. And George almost hitting the barrier there, or slightly touching it.
Sorry about that, people. We are back, having to get Preston back in, because unfortunately the game kicks him out. You know, laggy lobby kicks people out. You know, we just love it, don't we? It's lap 5 of 29, and George is currently leading with a 0.5, now 0.6 second gap from Charlie. Boys, will Charlie be able to come back, do we think? Or do you think George will be able to hold it out for the rest of the race?
Yeah, I mean, if George can stay consistent and, you know, not have those slides every now and then, I'm pretty sure he can hold on and probably pull this gap that we all know he can. But Charlie's looking good and strong, and, you know, he's not making the mistakes where George is, sorry.
Fair enough, Preston. Yeah, I think he'll be fine. George is just so fast. I think George will just keep it, really.
Fair enough, boys. Fair enough. Those are your bold predictions. I'm definitely going to clip them, and we'll see what happens later on in the race. If you're correct, and that's good predictions. And I'll be coming back to you for all my bets in the future. Yes, we'll have to see what happens now. But I do see for Callum, unfortunately, he's no longer in DRS. Harry is no longer in DRS either. Jamie is climbing back up though. P8 now P7 on the inside through Lance Stroll. He's working his way back up, ain't he?
Yeah, Jamie's slowly climbing his way up back through the field now. He's got a 3.1 second gap to Sonoda out in front now. So Jamie has to really burn and turn now to get up to P6.
Very true, very true. We'll have to see what happens, won't we? We'll have to see whether he can get back up. Preston, do you reckon Jamie could get back up through the last through Yuki, through Valtteri to get back up to potentially battling off Harry for P4?
I think Harry might be a little bit of a stretch right now, but yeah, I do believe he'll get past the two AIs. He's had an unfortunate start to both sprint and race, so. But yeah, shown he's got the pace to get past the AI, so yeah, I'm sure we could get past him.
And Charlie there cutting the chicane there, just cutting over slightly, couldn't make that, so he might have a warning on his way.
Not good, not good. Hopefully he can. Hopefully he doesn't repeat it. Hopefully he doesn't keep doing it. So there's no penalties given out. But of course we'll have to wait and see what happens with that. And who knows? But Charlie is absolutely applying pressure to George now. He's within that DRS zone. He's probably, yes, there he goes. He's got DRS. He's closing this gap.
Yeah, he definitely is closing this gap. But I'm also looking at the data right now, and George and Charlie both put in the same exact or similar time with a 32.7, both of them last lap. So only thousandths and seconds of covering those two on that last lap. George slightly run and ride into that long left-hander, as Charlie has now got a beautiful slipstream. He will have DRS on this straight, so will he be able to make use of this?
Yeah, the last thing Charlie really wants to be doing is stuck behind George. That's not going to be great for his tyres at all. But he seems to be just not quite got enough pace to just really get past him. Every DRS zone seems to be just getting ever so closer, but not quite enough.
And I think potentially either on this straight or potentially the next one, Charlie could get this move done. But it seems to be that George is pulling away here and getting up to that 0.7 second gap, which might just stop Charlie from getting the overtake done. But
George just seems to be very fast without DRS down that straight. Obviously, when you added that DRS on, he just could easily get the move done.
Lance Stroll's just been DNF this race, so could this potentially trigger a safety car and twist up the race and bring everyone back in? Probably potentially giving Callum a shot. We'll find out in a matter of minutes if it is a safety car or not.
Very true. It will be. Of course, none of us are hoping for a safety car, but again, it does have its positives. It does bring everyone back into contention, and we'll see what happens. But of course, at the same time, no one really wants a safety car, because then it's a pain of waiting around for an extra 4 minutes of us trying to talk our way through it, and you lot having to boringly listen. But that's not what.
Nice like the grid though.
Very true. But Jamie now up to P5. He's worked his way back up. Brilliant recovery from him.
I'm surprised, actually. Sorry to go on. I'm surprised it's not a safety car.
Yeah, that was right on the right beside the track, and it wasn't even next to a marshal stop. It was just right there. So that could have caused a major accident if someone, say, lost their control of the car into that corner.
Fair enough.
But yeah, as you're saying, going back to Jamie. Jamie did get the move done, and yeah, looking to Harry, his next target.
but it is a 13.2 second gap. Does he have enough pace to close that, especially with Yuki Tsunoda just behind him, with Charlie saying 132.465 as the fastest lap? But back to Jamie, Yuki's just fighting back constantly, not letting Jamie keep this P5 position. This is a great battle, but Jamie does run off there.
Yeah, he's trying to beat Yuki on the brakes there and just ran out of road, really.
And
His
he's
brakes. Yeah, he's damaged his wing, sorry. But yeah, carry on.
Yeah, I was just saying that he's lost a bit of his front wing there. He's going to be losing a major time. He should have pitted when he had the chance right there.
Yeah, I don't know why he didn't pit, to be fair. He was right next to it. Surely...
Unless he's just going to try and go long on those hards, just tank whatever damage he's going to have, but also, yeah, he's still going to be slow.
Yeah, and he now has, what, 6 AIs in front of him to overtake? No. 5 AIs. I can't do maths, can I?
Yeah, just 5 AIs, no.
Yeah, shut up. But no, that's not how I speak to my commentating partners. Thank you very much, Preston, for the correction. I really do appreciate it. But Charlie still sticking in the time gap, in the DRS range of George. Both of these guys pulling off a real show, not letting each other go. It's like last season if you had you back in this battle again.
Yeah, it was did miss that battle. It was an eventful battle, but yeah, these two seem to just not really want to give each other any advantage, really, do they?
No,
It was like in Miami, though, and none of you were willing to give up, though. You were all just there, switching positions every few corners. It's just like last season, just without that extra person, I guess.
Yeah, good testament to the track, I suppose.
although a lot of us do say that Miami ain't a great track, it does host quite a few good battles within the DFL so far.
It does, yeah.
But of course, although I hate to bring this up here, you are currently in a battle for third in the championship with Callum. If Callum successfully gets P3 here today, by my calculations, he will take that third place back off of you. So, of course, next race being Portugal, do you think you could take that third position back off of him again?
I mean, let's see what happens. You know, you never know. Callum could get really unlucky and fall out the points or get have a few incident, and then that could cost him. And he could get a few points back, salvage a few points back today. But I don't know. We'll have to see how it all goes, isn't it? Because I've had a bit of run of bad luck now. I hit that pre-race win jackpot, and then now I've sort of dipped into a bit of bad performance. Getting unlucky with the AI and stuff like that. So, I mean, yeah, I'll bounce back hopefully in Portugal, and I'll come back.
Fair enough. I think it's like that for every driver, though. It's like they have their good luck spells and the bad luck comes. It's the annoying thing. Good luck will always run out, and then bad luck will always come. But as soon as you pass that off, brush it off, smooth sailing.
Oh, and Charlie could get a naughty switchback here. Oh, only if he had that traction, that could have been a naughty switchback from Charlie there. But Charlie is right on the back of George now with 3 temps separating these guys now. This is going to be crazy. Charlie has to fill everything out the bag, have a good exit, and make sure he plows down this straight with everything he's got to successfully get past George.
I think it is very possible, though, and within a 0.4 second gap, most of the time. By now, it's a 0.7 second gap. If he could just hold back like he does here and get this DRS on this straight, as long as George doesn't pull 2 in front, Charlie may just get this.
Yeah, you just got to stay close to him. He knows that the move is right there for the taking. He just needs to, obviously, piece together those last corners before any DRS and really push George into the corner.
Very true. I mean, if we look back to season 3, oh! Charlie spun or something. His rear went, I think, or his front went. Didn't really see it, but he's hit the wall and now completely out the DRS range. So 1.7 second gap. Whether he can pull that back or not, who knows?
Charlie just got very lucky there. I think he rode the curb a little bit, lost the rear going once he round the quick S's, and yeah. He just wall banged with the wall, but I think it was just his wheels that hit, because I can't see any damage on him.
Fair enough.
So it was a lucky escape, I think, for Charlie.
Well, he'll definitely be absolute. Hopefully, what I'm trying to say, I'm muddling up my words again. He'll be hoping that luck can be paid off and he can potentially get an overtake on George. And George will be looking at it like, although I've got that gap, why the hell didn't he just crash out? It would have been much easier for me. Just to put it bluntly, you know, because that's what we do. But Callum currently at a 7.4 second gap. I mean, Harry currently at a 3.9 second gap between him and Callum. Is this an easy race for Callum? Potentially just sitting him at P3 position. Right now hasn't got a threat around him. It's just smooth sailing right now, ain't it?
Yeah. A bit like a sprint race, kind of a bit of a lonely race, and I think this is going to be, again, a replica. A bit of a lonely one.
I mean, of course, you know, there's that lonely one, but sometimes a lonely one is good, because that just means, you know, you keep that podium position if it all works out in the end. But, who knows? We'll have to see how luck favours him. Of course, you know, we try not to apply commentator's curse because we saw what happened in Canada. We were singing his praises the whole time, and then he crashed out and didn't go too well, did it? But who knows? We'll have to wait and see. Jamie now, though, all the way down in P18.
Yeah, he did. He boxed, remember? So he's on those fresher tyres compared to everyone else on the grid. So he should be fine, but he did box a bit early because obviously that wing damage. So I don't know how far he's going to be able to get with those tyres that he's on.
Fair enough. I didn't actually see him box, so I did not know he boxed, to be fair. But now knowing he's on the mediums, he could potentially catch up. But it's how long his tyres will last. Whether, you know, we'll see what happens. But who knows? Peter, do you think Jamie has a chance of getting back up here?
Yeah, I mean, maybe with the luck of a safety car, he might. I mean, he is riding in the back of like a train, so he's right there now. He's only got 9/10 to the next car in front, which is Schumacher, and then he's got a train, and then he's got to try and make some moves along the way and try to get rid of this train because he's going to be stuck behind us if he can't.
Again, he's just come out of DRS range, so he's going to have to pull himself back into it. But, like you say, Peter, as soon as he's back into it, it should just, again, as I like to say far too often, it should be smooth sailing for him. With that DRS, just should absolutely fly through those AI.
Yeah, I think he should, but I just think those medium tyres, I just can't see them lasting. Around this track, hards are your best friend. The tyre degradation is massive, and yeah, I don't know. As you can see, all the other drivers are going 14, probably not going to box for till like lap 18, maybe something like that, or further.
I was going to throw a bit of a twist with it. As we're talking about strategy right now, sources say that, you know, George is considering to possibly go to the softs towards the end. So he's really going to have to make this work. But from what I found out through practice, that you could probably make the softs work. You have to nurse your hards probably for a fair few laps and get through it. But as George has now got a 3.4 second gap, he could probably start to nurse his tyres, take good care of him, and then push it to about lap 23, lap 22 and sail the rest on the end with softs.
Yeah, that's good insider knowledge. But yeah, I just can't see Jamie really pushing with these tyres.
Yeah, I mean, Jim will potentially have to make another pit stop along the way, probably another set of mediums. Hopefully, a safety car will come his way. At the moment, it isn't looking like that. I mean, so I don't know. We'll see how it goes.
Very true, but he has got 2 overtakes done already, potentially looking for a third on the Mercedes as George Russell. Looked like he was going to slip out there, but probably just the lag. But now successfully potentially gets through George. No, George just manages to hold it, but he's definitely making his way up very slowly. Oh, nicely done there by Jamie. Send George a bit wide, I think, unless you guys are seeing something different, because lag is there. Jamie gets up to P15 now.
Yeah, I'll just have a look at back up the top of the grid again. It seems as though everyone's sort of keep maintaining the same similar pace. Don't really see too much of a gap forming between anyone. Yeah, I just think, and I don't think any of the positions change really with once everybody boxes. I think the gap they all hold between each other is that. Oh no, I think it's just Ferrari. Is that?
Yes, I think it's a Ferrari's
Leclerc, I think.
technical issue.
Yeah, another technical issue.
Not good, not good. That's also something I'm liking about the new game. Not just red flags, but I believe it's an increase in technical issues, isn't it?
Yeah, more detailed technical issues rather than just your engine blowing up. You could have like your battery or something like that.
Very true. So we could be seeing a lot more issues come within these league races. A lot more of you guys having to retire because of those issues. It's basically a whole new factor into this season, isn't it? Come season 5, but we'll see what happens.
And lap 16. That's odd. You should. And Charlie's got a 5-second time penalty. So if Charlie had any chance at winning this race or having a go at winning this race, he has a 5-second time penalty to compete with now as well.
And he's not serving it either. This pick is
so he couldn't have. And he also had a front wing change. So this is throwing a span into the works for Charlie now. He now has to. Let me get to see what he's on. He's on the medium, so he has to sail these mediums for about 12 laps. 12 laps to the end on the mediums. So it's possible. I mean, I think that wing damage came from all that contact that we saw with him on the wall.
Yeah, I think he did brush against the wall quite a few times. Yeah, he lost some time to George, and then obviously George got the position done. But it does open the door to a possible Callum P2, maybe?
Yeah, I mean, it is a potential. I mean, remember though, when Charlie, when it comes to Harry and Callum pitting, both of them will, if Charlie has the pace now and catch up to the pair of them, it could still lead Charlie with a nice opportunity for P2. Who knows yet, but it's still out there. I mean, he ain't that far behind that. Yeah, so I mean, I don't know. And George getting close with that Mercedes coming out of the pits.
George is starting to lap everyone now, isn't he? I know for the Mercedes pit, so it was kind of an easy way to lap someone, but he's just speeding through the entire grid, and he's starting to lap now. It's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, George has been told to nurse his tyres now, so George hopefully is nursing those hards and then switching on to the softs in the end and sailing to the end on the softs. I think is the idea that the team is going with.
Fair enough. But is it just me, or has that gap closed between Harry and Callum? It's now down to a 3.1 second gap, which is looking like Harry is trying to catch up to Callum now.
I mean, it was 2.8, but he's lost three tenths to Callum.
Fair
Yeah, I
enough.
was going to say, I think it was around the 3 second mark.
Yeah.
Couldn't quite remember what it was before, but yeah.
A couple of moments ago, like a few corners ago, it was 2.8. So somewhere along the way, he has lost this time somewhere.
Well, call me mistaken, then, and that's why I have you boys here, because I don't notice stuff and you boys do. So thank you. But Jamie is back up to P7. He's pulled off the recovery again.
Yeah, but that's with loads of people pitting as well, and he's gonna have to nurse those tyres.
Big first Callum.
Oh,
Callum's in the pits now, so Callum opts to go to the pits. Harry takes that P2 now. The question is now, can Charlie pass Callum on the track? And it looks like he is going to get it done. But the thing is, how far in front will Charlie be? At the moment, it's looking about 15 seconds to Charlie. And no, am I wrong? Wait for Callum to get out of the pits. Here we go. 5.5. So Charlie has to really, make sure he nurses these tires to the end. He's got a 6.2 second gap now. That gives him a 1.2 now second advantage to.
Oh, blimey, that time is rapidly going up.
Yeah, I think Cam's slightly struggling on those mediums coming out of the pits. I know these can get quickly lit up, but he'll still struggle for the first few corners before he can really light these babies up.
Yeah, and the only difference between them was like 2 or 3 laps maybe. But I don't think tyre degradation is really going to come into play to help Callum towards the end. So yeah, I think this might just be out of his reach.
And it could potentially look like Harry could get an overcut on Callum here. I mean, it's looking a little bit doable. He has lost quite a few seconds coming out of the pits, although they're on cold tyres, but it stayed around 7.4. So, I don't know. We'll see what Harry can do. Is he coming into the pits this lap? No, he's not. So he's staying out for another lap. So maybe he's hoping to, again, probably do the same strategy as George. We do not know yet. I mean...
did you mean Charlie when you were talking about Harry? I think because Harry's...
because Harry still needs to pit.
Yeah, Harry's still on the hards.
Yeah, he still needs to pit. Harry still needs to pit, so he needs to he will get lucky and overcut probably Callum here if he can keep pulling the gap.
Okay, it confused me because you were talking about him pitting when he'd already passed it quite a bit, so it just confused me for a second, but that's fair enough.
So at this current moment, 2 leader, 34 second leader. Charlie is 26 second leader. And then obviously the gap between Harry and George is right there. But I think it is very doable for Harry. If I compare Harry's lap time and Callum's lap times, we could probably get a rough idea if Harry can come out front. So obviously last lap, Harry came out with a 33.7. And then if we look at Callum's lap time, it was a 48.8. So
Harry.
Yeah, so Harry into the pits now. So it is a very, very durable situation. He could get this overcut here. So here we go. Callum is almost, if he gets released in time, it's going to be a close battle between these two. There's going to be a couple laps between these two and separating on tyres. But Harry has gone to the softs. So my prediction on what I was going to say was right. So he has opted to go to the soft. So potentially we could see a fight between Callum and Harry within approximately about a couple laps times if he can light these things quick up. I mean, the only problem I found about the softs though was that you need to get it around lap 22 to really make these work because the tyre wear starts to fall off and then, yeah, that's when it really gets bad towards the end.
Yeah, this is quite a high degradation track, so it'll be interesting to see if Harry can catch up. I'm pretty sure Harry will be able to. But it's whether he'll be able to hold it or not.
Yeah, this is true. I mean, Harry, if he has that there's a big
Ooh.
pile sector 1. Jamie's been spun around, and it is not a safety car, but he doesn't seem to have any visible damage. But Jamie seems to have escaped that slightly. Is he going to get passed by Holcomb? No, Magnussen, sorry? No, he's not. So Jamie is safe in that P9 for now, but he did have a big moment which cost him several paces.
Yeah, that's yeah, I didn't quite see that, whether it was his mistake or if that was the AI, but yeah, it's unfortunate for Jamie.
Yeah, that is a very unfortunate. But yeah, Preston, I mean, what are we thinking? Do you reckon Harry can get...
Jamie has gone straight into the side of Kevin Magnussen and has destroyed his wing in the process, starting a safety car.
No, virtual. It's a virtual.
Safety car's on track, I believe. Is that? No, that's just McLaren. Yeah, it's just virtual then.
But
no real cause for that. I mean, I didn't even see what happened with Jamie, but what did he even do? Just drive straight into the side? I mean...
he just slammed straight into the side of Kevin. He was just driving alongside of him and then bang, straight into him.
Yeah.
Any advantage from doing that though?
I was going to say Callum because he has Harry behind him, but that gap was 5.4, and now Harry's managed to get it to about 3 seconds. So this could necessarily help Harry. It could screw Harry, depending on how safe he wants to play it to the Delta. But here we go. But it's like green now, and Harry now has actually gained from that, surprisingly.
And something I just thought I'd mention, George is now pitted as well onto the softs. So, and Charlie is nowhere to be seen, so George will stay ahead, and on the quickest tyres, I don't think there's any way that George can lose this now.
Nah, I don't know. I mean, we did see George having those few moments, and these tyres can get very high temp. And you can start losing your grip the last 2-3 laps of this race, but he's only got to push these for 6 laps. So if he's gentle in this out lap and then kind in the last 5 laps, I don't think he should have any really big problems with tyre wear. It'll just be Harry who will be playing with lightning, should I say playing with fire with his tyre wear.
Don't forget though that Charlie also has that 5-second penalty. So as much as Charlie might be able to catch up to George if he did, he would also have to build a 5-second gap, which I just don't see happening.
Yeah, I mean Charlie's still 8.1 to George, and then it's 8.7 to.
That's 8-second penalties.
Give Callum a P2, so Callum has to get a move on now if he wants to get this P2 slot. But it's now 9.1 to Charlie though, with Callum.
Yeah, it's not going well for Callum. He's just dropping and dropping. He doesn't seem to be recovering any time whatsoever. But now, potentially, with Charlie being more careful with what I think is track limits, from what I've seen in him cutting corners, will Callum potentially be able to catch up just even a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, I'm seeing that multiple warning patterns. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. So, oh no, did he have one? I'm pretty sure he did. Yeah. So yeah, he's had 3 warnings now, and then he pushed it too much. So yeah, Jamie's been suffering. He had Jamie actually made contact with Magnussen Bottas. Yeah, he had contact with those guys. So I think it was more down to Jamie's fault on what happened when he dropped down to P9. Oh, and Harry goes faster than Molto.
He's really hunting down Callum.
Oh, a 3-second time penalty for Jamie as well. Penalties being handed out for everyone here. Jamie's retired.
And is this potentially going to give out a safety car? If so, this could probably help out Harry in some sense with tyre wear and probably getting it towards the end. It's still 5 laps. It's possible for a safety car, but the gap between Harry and Callum is only 2.4. So George now comes back into the fastest lap with a 30.3. So I think that's the fastest that he's gone on this track ever. So that's a new track record.
But nice one by George, I must say. Preston, do you think that with Harry being only 2.4 seconds off of Callum being, of course, on the soft spots, Callum on the mediums, could Harry catch up to Callum now?
It's definitely possible. I thought he would be a bit closer by now, for being honest. But yeah, I still think it's on the cards. I mean, look, now it's down to 2 seconds. What was that, like 2.5 before? He's right behind him.
And with what, only 4 laps left to go, Peter, I think it is very possible, don't you?
No, I mean it's 8.9 now to him, and last lap he managed to get 3 tenths. So I mean, it's doable. I mean, all it takes is one mistake for either one of them to put the chances to an end, especially for Harry. But if there's ever to make a chance, to make a mistake, it'll be down to Callum if he holds under pressure now.
But we will have to see what happens, whether Callum again can hold that pressure, can ride the waves of it, shall we say, or whether he will suffer the consequences of Harry's pressure being placed on him. But who knows? But I must say, so far, what a great race by George today. He's just held it all race, hasn't he, Preston? You know, he hasn't stopped being in front once, I don't think.
Yeah, apart from the start on both sprint and actual race. But yeah, he's made it back up again, just claimed back the lead. Just showed how dominant he's been all weekend again.
Yeah, and he will be extending his championship points. Of course, we'll be working that out for you all. Go check it out either on my Discord or on my Instagram. Go check out my TikTok and George's TikTok whilst you're at it. Get some DFL clips. I mean, George posts his TikToks way before I post the actual videos. So you'll be able to see his pole laps, not the actual race results, but any potential good overtakes or all his pole laps. So go check out his TikTok as well. But who knows? We'll have to wait and see what his points gap is after this race and see how much his championship extends. But
Penny. Oh no, this is really bad for Callum. No, Callum has to get a big move on now, as the gap is only 2.1 between Harry and him. So if he could clear him, Harry could get P2 here, but he needs to get a move on. I think P2 might be out of the picture for him here, actually. That's my bad. I thought he was closer to that, but no, he's not. Callum has to get a big move on now.
He got his corners all squared up wrong, going into that tight chicane. And yeah, just cut straight over it.
Not good
whatsoever for Callum.
Not at all. Callum will be regretting most choices, but that's what the pressure does. It makes you corner cut. It makes you extend those track limits wherever you can find the extra time. And of course, Callum has done that, obviously, and it hasn't worked well, and he's been fanned out by the stewards, and that's been it. He's now got 3 seconds time penalty and potentially lost that podium position by the end of the race. But we'll have to see what happens, of course. Who knows? But it definitely looks like Charlie will be keeping that P2 without a shadow of a doubt, to be fair. Unless he slips out or something. But I just don't think that's possible at this point. But who knows? But it is lap 27. We have probably, I'd say, about 2 more laps left to go. And I hope you guys have all enjoyed this video so far. But, boy, whoever wants to do for quick calculations. George takes 4 points here today. You know, because he's got fast lap and he got the pole, obviously, and everything like that. Won his sprint race. At what point do we say, let's say he carries on this and he wins every race from here? Oh! Williams behind George. George's just overtake has completely lost his wing mass. Alexander Albon, will that be a safety car here? I don't think so, but he is on the side of the track. Who knows? I'm sure we'll find out in a second. Oh my god!
Wait, what happened? Did everyone just get kicked?
Yeah.
So effectively, that means if we were to do it with these results, everyone would have stayed the way they were.
What?
So, what's that? We did more than 75% of the race, didn't we?
We had like 2 laps left to go.
Then 4 points awarded to
Yeah.
whatever the remaining positions.